Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Rise of Nyarlathotep. I see the little meter saying my mic's working, so rad. Today we have a lovely, relaxing episode that I won't bring you. Instead, I'm going to bring you another one of our fun episodes. Before I dive into all this, let's go around the table and introduce ourselves. I am Lucas, my pronouns are he, him, and I will be the DM for this evening. Over to Ian.
Hi everyone, I'm Ian. My pronouns are he, they. I know Lucas is hiding a beach episode somewhere and we can't have it. But alas, I am playing Weary, whose pronouns are they, them, the tiefling artificer alchemist, officially.
I will never let you destroy that watermelon with a stick. And we go over to Meg.
So much fun.
My pronouns are she and they, and I'm playing your favorite socially anxious, yet somehow combatically competent godling druid, Alora, whose pronouns are they, them.
And Jess.
Hi there, I'm Jess. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm playing Glyph, the totally normal rogue. Their pronouns are they, them.
Eve.
Hello, I'm Eve, and I am playing the Enhanced Goblin TK37. Both our pronouns are she, her.
And Jason.
Hey, I'm Jason, and I'm playing Gratok, the Plemarian Bard, and we're both he, him.
All right, so to start this off, the music and sound effects are brought to us by the lovely Sirenscape. So go on over to sirenscape.com if you want to make it sound like there are people in your walls and they're trying to get out, but you won't let them. So activate those sound effects and just cover up the real sounds. And we also are brought to you by, if you look over in the middle there, lovely Roll20, where you can virtually put people in walls. And you can have your own online tabletop games. I'm not going to put people in walls this episode, I swear. And you will have your online games that you can play with people all across the world. Head on over to roll20.com where you could just set this thing up and enjoy the pains of that was weird. Enjoy the pains of time zones. So, where we were last time, it was a very, very busy episode. The group had looked into the cathedral. They had met a strange person with a banded mask. They had sorry, the music's a little bit loud. They had met a strange person with a banded metal mask. The person had seemed like they knew a lot about the party. The party had then tried to go around, have a sweet like, oh, we're on both sides, what are you going to do? Use grease to actually trip the person in the mask, and TK destroyed a flesh door. After this, you tried to fight the person. They used the mask to transform into a 9-foot-tall pharaoh-like being, who proceeded to give Weary the 1-2 and drop Weary to the ground while everyone else was trying to get out. We had Glyph, who yeeted the mask along with the help of TK, and then you had a fun race to go get the mask when the villain was in the middle of monologuing. I can never monologue. You had then went and chased after the mask, and the being seemed like it was very amused when both of you grabbed onto the mask, and it said it said you were now bound. And after that, you have lost the party's trust, Glyph, as they all think that you're a monster underneath those clothes, and all of you realize that Alora's missing and probably is just hanging out at the Adventurers Guild. You don't know. So, where we start this lovely tale, we are going to go over to Alora. So, Alora, you were with the rest of the group. You were outside that cathedral. Everything was going well. You were like, okay, this is a cathedral circus. And the group was looking over at the flesh neighborhood, as we all do. You were just about to say something to the rest of the group as they were all trying to figure out what they wanted to do next. And you felt a tap on your shoulder, thinking that it was one of the other party members. You once more see that being with no face. And this time, instead of just slightly poking and prodding you, they grab onto the front of your clothing. And I need you to make me a strength check.
12.
So you try to push these hands away. You are slapping at them, you go to say something, and another hand grabs onto your face. And you're like muffling to everyone. They don't see you, they don't hear you. They're just keeping on, and Glyph starts walking into the cathedral. You're reaching out, your fingers almost brush Weary, and then you're pulled back, and you feel yourself falling. You hit into water. You're struggling, you're pushing against this being. They keep trying to pull you more and more. More arms are grabbing onto you, and you feel yourself constricted, and as you're fighting and trying to get a breath, you find yourself break the surface. And looking around this area, it unnerves you a bit. You're no astronomer, but you think you might be standing on the moon as you look down and see the planet slowly spinning. You see one half of the planet, there's the three tendril continents that are all going out in different directions. You see that the stars are all on one side of the planet, like on one direction. And you see over on the other side, there's absolutely no stars. It's like just completely empty space. You think that you should be able to breathe here, that you shouldn't be able to breathe because there's no atmosphere, but you're breathing just fine. What would you like to do as you're dripping wet?
I'm gonna just kind of like wring out like my veil and just kind of like pinch myself. Like, am I okay? I'm still alive. That hurt. I'm gonna, as like futile as this would probably be, but like I'm just gonna try and get closer to the planet. So I'm just gonna like take a few steps forward on the moon and like try and see if I can figure out like where I actually am in relation to the continent.
Make me a perception check.
16.
You are looking around, you start walking, and it's weird. You're bounding almost. You're so light right now. You're just leaping across these large bounds, and you're not getting any closer to this planet. It's so far away. It's so distant. You are looking around and you see there's something in the distance. It almost looks like a person, but they're laying down and floating somewhat in the air.
Hello? And I'm just gonna like slowly like step towards them.
You start going towards them and you call out. You hear your voice almost echo out into here. And the person's not responding at all.
Is there like a rock nearby?
Yeah, there's definitely a moon rock.
I'm gonna pick it up and just kind of I'm not gonna touch them, Eve. I'm gonna pick up the rock. I'm gonna do you one better and throw it at them. I'm gonna take a few steps closer and then just yeet the rock.
So you take this rock and you just hurl it. Roll me a d20 plus your dex.
Because I know space physics and this realistically would not actually happen. It is a 19.
you watch as like you throw this rock and it's slowly sailing, and you see it just keeps going past this being. You're like, I'm super strong as you're watching this rock just keep going, but the being doesn't react at all. You see, now that you're a bit closer, they're wearing long flowing robes, they have long flowing wavy hair, and they look very similar to the being you keep seeing with no face.
Oh, they're kind of cute. Okay. Shut up, Jason. I'm gonna take my staff and just kind of poke him like in the side, like by the ribs, and just be like, "Hello."
So you just start going closer, you take your staff and you poke them, and it starts spinning the body towards you. Some of the hair moves out of the way, and you see now that there is this empty hole where a face should be. There's this alabaster skin that's on them instead of the clammy gray that you saw before. And you see there's just the outline of where a face would be as they're twisting. You see tiny droplets of blood are hanging in the air around this being.
I'm gonna. I want to do two things, and I have one of them is going to be like a small, like vial kind of thing, and I'm gonna just kind of collect the blood in the vial, like that's floating.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna kind of like scoop and chase it and get like a little bit of it, and maybe like see if like Weary can do something with it. And then I'm gonna pick up a jar of moon dirt. I've got a jar of dirt. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna be that creep that just kind of like breaks off a piece of their hair and also puts it in the vial.
Yeah,
Like
so
with the blood, to see if like there's a way we can identify who this is.
Yeah, so you're hunched over and creeping hard, and just harvesting the body. You feel the presence of someone, and you look just like slowly glancing over, and you see that being's there. Their gray, clammy skin, their hair is hanging down. It looks like they're fairly wet. They're drenched just like you are, and they're just looking down at this body with you. They go and they stand beside you.
Like I'm asking basically, but like I'm not saying anything because I'm just kind of like stupefied. So I'm just like, huh?
They look at you and they look at the corpse and they just slowly nod.
What happened?
They look at you and they wave and then disappear, and where they were now is this chunk of wood, and then they're on the other side of you.
I'm just gonna like look at them and pick up the wood and be like, huh?
They just nod at you and they hold up a small stone, and you watch as this greenish flame lights around the stone, and then they just drop it. You watch it slowly fall down and hit onto the ground as the flame sizzle out.
Can I have that?
They nod.
And I'll pick it up. And this is how I play video games as well. I am confused and lost all the time. I pick up random ingredients, no idea. So I'll pick up the fun flaming rock and just put it in my bag.
They look down at their body and they trace the outline of where their face should be. You see now their gray, clammy hand has this blood on their finger, and they go up to you to try to trace the outline on your face. Do you do anything?
You want my face? I'm rather fond of it. I'm kind of attached.
They nod.
Could I maybe help you find yours instead?
They look down at their body. They look up at you. And they look like they're thinking a lot on it. And they slowly nod, looking down at their body.
Can you get me back over there? And I can take your body and I can figure this out?
They point at their body and then shake their head. But they point at you and then nod.
Is your face with is your face down there?
They nod.
Okay. How can I get back here to give you your face?
So hard to say words without the word parts. They look at you and they point to themselves and then they nod and they point at you.
Okay, so you'll find me then. Oh, okay. Do you have a name? Can you write it in the ground so I can call for you?
They crouch down and they try writing in the dirt there, and every time they start writing their name, you watch as it's getting erased just as fast. And then they seem angry and they punch the ground and these massive cracks appear all around.
No. It's okay. You don't need to get angry. What if what if I gave you a name?
They look a little defeated and just shrug.
What if I just called you friend?
They come up to you and you can feel their presence. It's absolutely overwhelming. You've felt this a few times before. You felt it when TK saw the blood written in the Adventurers Guild. You felt it just before they started that weird death race in Port Divinarium. And they're so close to you, this being. And they take your hand and they shake it. And you see the blood that was still on their fingers. It makes this handprint on you. And then it starts to burn. They're holding on to your hand and then they let go. And now you have this fingerprint, as if they grip down into your hand and it just doesn't let go.
So if I need you, I'll touch this, okay? Okay. Well, I will do everything that I can to find your face and give you rest. Can you take me back to my friends and we can try and find it all together?
They take you, they grab you once more at the front of your clothing. They look over at the planet. They look at you and they shrug a bit. They sprinkle a bit of dirt on you, and then you feel the grip tighten on you as they hurl you toward the planet. And it's terrifying. There's nothing pleasant about this experience. As you come hurtling down, you are sailing past the clouds. The wind is whipping by you. You can't breathe. And you are just sailing past. You break down. You see the 3 massive continents. You see all along the outer edge of the ocean this eternal raging world storm that has just never subsided. As you are just sailing down, you watch as flames are building up around you. and you go and you start seeing as you're zooming in on the southern tendril, and then you're zooming in on the arcanium. You see these large, lush green fields. You watch this giant barrier, this bubble, as you smash through it, and it feels so uncomfortable, like all these fingers on you. And you pass through that, you're screaming, and you go and you end up seeing Transmudia, all the spider horses and wagons outside of it, and this fireball is just arcing down. And that brings us to the rest of you. You are all making your way back to where the Adventurers Guild is, and you see suddenly this fireball lights up the sky like it's daytime. And you just get to the front of it as you watch and realize, oh my god, it's coming here. And you all start running as Alora just hits the ground. And it's just like this massive shockwave just sends out. And you hear windows shattering, people yelling and screaming, a few these lampposts, the light bulbs burst and everything. But you're all okay, coughing from some dirt and grime. And you see Alora is just standing there, kind of wobbling back and forth.
What the fuck was that?
If I had an
Alora.
answer, I would tell you.
Did you do that? How did you do that?
First of all, are you all right?
Yeah.
Ow.
Well,
Define well.
Medically?
You fell from the sky
Yeah, that part
Um,
too.
in a fireball.
I think I'm okay. I was, I don't know. I'm a little woozy, but I think that's mostly just from the space.
How did
I
you
was
get
in
up
space. I wish I
there?
knew.
How?
I.
What? Don't you die if you go up there?
I thought so too. Evidently not.
What were you doing in space?
I found a body
In space.
on the moon.
You are on the moon.
And I found a body.
What's the body doing on the moon?
I don't know. Just floating, mostly. But there was no face
On the moon?
on the body, not
Okay.
on the body.
I was gonna say the moon normally doesn't have a face, but anything could happen
Oh, you
today.
can see a
Hi, hello.
face
This is
on
Soul
it.
Eater now.
The moon is laughing at us right now.
when they
No.
say that the body didn't have a face, I kind of tighten my scarf a little bit around my own face.
The body didn't have a face, and I promised its owner that I would find the face.
Oh.
The owner of the body?
Yeah, so I've kind of had a ghost friend since before the church with that one guy.
Okay.
and it's just faceless. It doesn't seem to want to hurt me. And I found out it's been trying to ask me for help, I think. And it just wants its face back. They just want their face back. And I told them I'd find it for them. Also, Weary. And I pull out the vial. Here was some of the blood and a little bit of its hair.
Oh god, you have stuff from the moon.
It was. I also have a rock. Well,
That-
a jar of moon dirt, but we'll get to that later.
Oh, I know somebody who'd be really interested in that. Okay.
But yeah. So I don't know if you can create something that can find their face. But I thought you might be able to do something with it.
And Weary is half of the face is just completely bruised and is limping and just limps over and takes it very gently and holds your hands closed and goes, That's gonna be a really cool project we can work on while we travel. You were on the moon. A lot of stuff happened.
Yes, are you okay? And I'm reaching in for more dirt that I've blessed with cure wounds. Would you like some? Would you help? It'll be like a little mud mask.
Yeah, you know what? Sure.
Okay, and let me cast that real quick. Let me. Gotta do the thing, because I didn't do the thing the last time. Where's my thingy? There we go. Okay. Math. Cool. For 7 HP.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I think where he takes the mud and just applies it, but like there's a little bit of anger, I think, and it's not directed at Alora. It's just like in general. And I go, okay, let's do this in threes. There was a bunch of ghosts and a flesh neighborhood. I blew it up. There was a big guy who could get bigger, and he had one of the evil masks, so he was one of the bosses of the cult, and he kicked our ass.
I think I did pretty good there.
Yeah, I I would wager you did better than me because I was unconscious. And like the laugh is like a cough because of all the bruising.
A little bit of blood.
Okay. And then the third thing is that, and then Weary stops, looks over at Glyph,
Glyph, who
pauses
is
for a second.
standing slightly away from everyone else.
Glyph owns one of the cult masks, and Glyph dresses in layers, and all the monster people we've met have all hidden themselves in some way. So we're working with limited information, but until I see something different, I'm a little worried about Glyph as a being part of the cult.
Hey, Glyph.
I turn and look at you with my complete lack of face. It's all cloth.
Can you roll up your sleeve?
Can we not do this in the middle of the street?
Yes. Can we go back to the church? Or do you have a better place?
No church. No, the church, no.
Okay.
You should
Just
totally
go to
go
the-
back.
Yeah, so okay. So we can go back to the Adventurers Guild. You guys can get cleaned up, and then Glyph can explain.
I hope so.
Because I've
I
noticed
think-
something is off. I don't know if you guys caught it with how they were during the fight with Bonesaw, but I don't think Glyph is one of the bad guys, but I don't think Glyph is completely corporeal. So
All right, real quick. Show of hands. Who here has important secrets that may affect the rest of the group? Just raise your hand. No judgment. PK raises her hand.
I think Weary also raises the hand and then looks really guilty.
Laura, raise your hand. You just said that you had a weird ghost friend that you didn't tell us.
not a
about.
secret anymore. I just told you.
Well, we got to do more discussion, so that's still important.
Oh yeah, I'm part of like
We
a
we
group
can
of
save
people.
our terrible, horrible secrets until we're in our own room.
Okay, that's
Okay.
good. Let's
Yes.
wait.
Okay,
Boy.
Okay.
making our way back to the guild.
So okay, so we don't need to get specifically mad at anybody yet, because we all have terrible secrets. See?
I think when Kratok raises his hand, Weary's eyes get wide.
Katak, did you raise your wing?
Yes.
Okay, so you all are thinking about each other's terrible secrets. I like this. So you're all stepping into the lovely Adventurers Guild, and there are still some people that are up, and you don't see anyone at the reception desk. It is probably about like 1:30 in the morning. You're all very tired. It has been a day. I mean, Alora fell from the moon and everyone else was in a flesh neighborhood. It's been a day. And you all kind of drag yourselves you're all sopping wet. You make it back to one of the rooms. You have 2 rooms. And so you make it back and open up the door to one of them with the most beds. And so all of you are in there and you close the door behind you.
Do we want to share secrets now or after we bathe? Because Weary, I like you, but you look a little rough.
No.
Okay. That mud mask will get cakey very quick. So
I noticed and like just like flakes off. I was like, oh. And Weary looks at the rest of their outfit and just like gets really disappointed.
Yeah, TK is already just stripping down, taking off that just gore covered Victorian child outfit. Pulling off
Oh,
her.
y'all are still in your disguises.
We're still in our
Oh.
disguises.
Oh yeah, so Alora's
Pulling
dressed like
off
a
her-
pirate came from space and like
But I'm in my
bloody-
fishing outfit that's ruined.
All the way down.
I'd prefer the fishing outfit be ruined than like my actual outfit, so that's fine.
Oh, you're like a lumberjack.
Yeah,
Yeah,
y'all.
you do have stuff-
disguises.
You were a
are
lumberjack,
ruined.
yeah.
I switched to fisherman's outfit at the
Oh.
green room in the fight pit.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
okay. So reconvene in 20 minutes?
Yeah. I'll go scream at anyone who's inside to leave. That's not true. I won't scream. I'll politely ask them to leave.
so the cool thing about gonna go have a bath at 1:30 in the morning is that no one else is. So
That works out.
Like the
I
college
think there might be
days.
a vampire in there or something.
just turns into
Adventure
a
skill
bat and
doesn't-
just goes away.
Oh, the one vampire in Transmedia.
So you all get cleaned up and relax and see you have a fair amount of wounds and bruises and you're just so sore and tired. I mean, before this, you were cruising through on spider horses and in a wagon. It's not been the most comfortable living. And so you all relax. And TK, I haven't been bringing this up enough, but this cube is still like just now it's like lazily floating around you. It seems to match your mood. So when you have a lot of energy, this cube is really buzzing around. But when you start just like getting ready to crash, this cube is just slowing down hard, just floating around you.
I would also real quick like to note that that little lizard bird skeleton thing is riding on the cube.
Yes.
That's cute.
So it's just cruising along, and all of you come back, and you're all freshened up and cleaned, and you have some clean clothes that you have to put on, your original clothes.
I didn't get a disguise. So all of my clothes are trashed. So I feel like everyone like left to go to the bathrooms and I just like sadly stayed.
Oh,
In
the dirty
room.
clothes.
Yeah, I don't have any other clothes.
So you all come in and see Glyph just kind of shoulders slouched a little bit, sitting down in a chair with all these like dirty clothes, and there's weird ichor on them from the flesh hood.
Do we notice if Glyph smells like really bad or anything?
It does
Because
smell.
Glyph never goes in the shower.
Well, Glyph's clothing doesn't normally smell a lot because Glyph doesn't sweat or anything and doesn't eat, so there's not a lot of opportunity to get it super dirty. But because of the flesh hood and that whole situation and the forgotten people grabbing onto Glyph does have a bit of a smell.
Right.
So someone's not participating.
I have nothing to change into.
See, that's the problem with wearing all of your clothes at the same time. You should get a bag. TK holds up her bag. have a spare jumpsuit in there.
I can't even face palm. I don't have a face. So, yeah, but Glyph has also been moving very stiffly. And I just say, perhaps they have a sad bot and I can get everything washed and repaired.
Okay, so I think that this would be a good opportunity for us all to just air things out. So let's start with the most grievous secret. Let's go down to the lighter stuff. That way we can end things on a nice note for the night.
So
Any
TK, why are people
objections?
after you?
I would think that the more grievous note would be Glyph's situation. What with like the evil mask and the potential of being a traitor.
Oh, I bristle at that.
I'm not making any accusations. I'm just saying there's the possibility.
No, you're right, TK. The accusation was mine.
Exactly. There you go.
I suppose this would have come out sooner or later. So I will stiffly stand up and take off my hat. And as I start taking off I'm wearing several pairs of gloves. I start taking off all of my gloves. And I always kind of speak in the same tone. But there's something wrong with it. I'm like, I would hate for you all to think I was a traitor. I am not in league with the Cult of Chaos. I want nothing to do with them. In fact, I want nothing but to stop them because I feel that everything they're doing is wrong. And I hate for you to think that I would be associated with them. And I'm like taking off my gloves. And like at the start, I'm just taking them off carefully, but I'm like starting to put them down really hard. And then I go and I start rolling up my sleeves. And you see, as I pull off my last pair of gloves, which are white, I don't have skin. I am an automaton. My hands are probably the most complicated, beautiful, like robot hands you've ever seen. And I roll up my sleeves. And you see my forearms are made of like different shades of copper and bronze. And they're inlaid with all of these patterns that don't really look like letters, just kind of patterns. And again, you see my elbows, my wrist. I am like the most complicated jointed machine you've ever seen. And I roll up my sleeves and I cross my arms and I say, I'm an automaton. I'm not biological.
Oh. Okay. I thought you were going to be like some sort of freak or something.
I was standing there with my arms crossed because I wasn't sure how y'all were going to take that. And I just
TK is lacking in a lot of like societal acceptability for certain things. So this is nothing. This is absolutely nothing to her.
I'm just gonna look at Weary and be like, I told you.
You told me what?
I told you they weren't evil.
Be that as it may. And we're like, it's doing a lot of math in their head. All of us came in here to do this job, and we were pretty open about who and what we were. All of us except for you. And you only decided to do it when we cornered you about it, knowing full well that we've talked to plenty of automata. I talked to one literally today, and that we would have accepted you for it, but you had to wait for this. And that hurts.
I did not set out to deceive you. It's true, I did not want anyone to know. I have my reasons. Before I met you all on the ship, I could count the number of conversations I'd had in my life on one hand. So it was nice to not be alone. And then I got swept along and we ended up joining the Adventurers Guild and taking on a quest. And I thought, why not? I didn't know things would get so complicated. I didn't know I would put us in so much danger. I have not been myself for very long. Hard to explain. I've been awake for about 6 months, I believe. I'm not sure. The beginning's a little confusing. And I was in a situation that I did not wish to continue to be in. So I left. And I kind of slump into my chair. I don't know how to explain this.
You don't need to strain yourself, Glyph.
Just please know I've only tried to do what I thought was best, which admittedly has not gone well. I kind of figure out some hotkeys for this. I kind of look at my hands, like I don't know what they are. I'm not used to having emotions, particularly. Not strong ones. And I've been experiencing many strong emotions recently. And when that happens, I'm not quite sure how to react. So I want to apologize if I have caused us any issues. I was afraid at the festival and I bought a mask and it got Morgan's attention. I was so worried about all of you at the caravan that I attacked Teresa. I was so angry at the man in the church. I turned around and spoke out at him. I don't quite know what I'm doing, I believe.
Do any of us?
Kurtok puts a hand on Glyph's shoulder and says, "It's all right, Glyph. Everyone goes through a phase like this in life, and they come out of it the other side a fully autonomous person."
Man, honestly, same boat.
I kind of straighten up, and I kind of look at your hand, touching me nicely. with camaraderie. And you hear kind of a like a switch flipping, and I'm back to my other voice, and I'm like, I greatly appreciate that, Kratok. I am trying. Also, pardon me. I'm very aware that my other voice is greatly disconcerting.
I mean, come on. You heard me, right?
Just use whichever one you want for now, but I don't know what the townspeople will think.
I'm sure with, I mean, transmedia being what it is, I'm sure they would understand. I don't see why there would be an issue. I think it would just be something that they're not used to, and we'd have to deal with the concept of serving automata. Words are hard.
It's automata.
Yeah, it's both.
Wait a minute.
Anemone. But I don't see how it would be an issue if you want to use your normal voice. I'm okay with it. TK?
What?
Would do you care if Glyph uses their other voice?
Why would I care?
See? And then what Kratok, what about you?
Oh, you have to be yourself.
And I'm gonna
You really don't. You can be whoever you want.
Yes, as you were a Victorian child. And I'm gonna look at
You know, the popular architectural style that exists now. If ear rats exist, Victorian children can also exist.
Only in
and-
ghost form.
Yeah. I'm gonna look at Weary and be like,
Weary is crying
Oh.
and just like looks up, and like their eyes, which are normally like full yellow with like a slightly lighter tint in the center, is just like there's like a little bit of puffiness around them from the bruise and also from the crying, and it's just like, okay. I was so worried we were gonna have to kill you.
I told you there was nothing to worry about.
I know, but they had the mask and it was the monsters, and all the people we talked to turned into monsters, and it would have been really horrible if it also happened to Cliff, and I don't want to kill people I like.
Bonus points.
Pat
Cliff
you
can't
on the
turn
shoulder.
into a monster.
That's
They ain't got no
true.
meat.
That's true, there's no meat. You can't turn into a monster.
The safest person.
That's really good. Cliff, you have to kill me if I turn into a monster, okay?
I will do that, Weary.
Thank
And
you.
I gently pat your hand.
Okay.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
so that's one secret down. Does anybody have a secret more important than a mercenary group out to kill you and probably everyone involved with you?
Raise my hand again.
You have two secrets.
Sure you don't want to break? We could do one of ours.
Oh. And I kind of put my hand down.
No, mine's really fast. I'm part of a society that wants to make sure that magic isn't used to blow up the world. I joined it when I was really young. That's part of my doctor training. Is I want to make sure that like nobody's using like magic to mess up the world. So when I got a job that allowed me to do my medical training and make money and also keep the world safe, I took it. But it's not sanctioned by my group. They have an acronym. I don't like acronyms, but it's called Magic, and they're like kind of secret, but kind of not. It's a whole thing, and they're probably mad at me because I took this job without their permission, and And I'm doing it for the right reasons, because obviously the Cult of Chaos is really bad news. But if they find out, I'll get in trouble. And I don't know what that means, because sometimes they work with the cleansers from the other city, and that can get really scary, because those guys are mean. Okay, so that's it. Secret society that I don't know I'm doing this job, and I might get in trouble. That's not as bad.
Well, yeah, I'm fine with that. Any objections? Oh, okay. Anybody want to go next? I'm fine with doing mine. Anybody?
Yours sounded pretty important.
Okay, yeah. So, a couple months back, I woke up in a tube. I didn't really care for being in the tube, so I broke out of the tube and I killed a bunch of people leaving the place that the tube was in. I don't think they like that. So, I'm on the run, and I got all these other people chasing after me, right? And it took me a bit of time. I know at least one of the groups want me captured, probably to put me back in the tube. And the other one, Bellstone Operations, a mercenary group. And then like she like unbuttons her jumpsuit, just like takes off the top of it and like points at her back at the symbol. These guys, they're trying to kill my ass. I don't know exactly why, but I do have a guess. And she points to that tattoo on her chest. She says, in here, it says something about rewriting my brain, right? I think I know something. They want me to know it. I don't know what it is, though, so it doesn't really do me any good. So they might come and try to kill me, and then they'll probably try to kill you just in case I told you the thing that I don't know. Now, all of this might be wrong, and they might just be assholes. Once again, I do not know. Maybe I was just a piece of shit. I don't remember any of it. Or maybe I do remember it, but it's just that it's very hard to describe my brain right now. It's like everything's there, but it's just noise and flashes of light and sounds and smells.
Do you mean to say it's... Do you mean to say it hasn't always been that way?
No, I don't. Maybe if it was, I don't remember it past like 2 or 3 months ago.
Interesting. Well, I hope we don't get killed by target by proxy. That would be really sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's kind of the problem with like why I got a bit antsy around Gemma. Apparently she's been working with them and it's pretty tight with them. But I guess maybe word hasn't gotten down this far, so we might be in the clear. Hopefully they're keeping it close to their chest, you know?
I think the disguise of you as a Victorian child helped.
You were unrecognizable.
Yeah, kind of go and use a bunch of powers to beat up a really famous guy.
Oh, yeah.
In disguise, though. You were in disguise.
That's a good point.
Okay.
Lucas's face says otherwise, but I choose to believe.
It just means we get new disguises.
If you're a goblin hurling yourself across the room with psychic powers and ripping someone's heart
very
out.
pasty, weird-looking goblin.
This is like when they put the wig on 11 in the Stranger Things show, and they were like, "This is a totally different person."
Yeah,
that's pretty much exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for me. like, it's not a huge secret. It's just kind of one that I'm trying to keep on the download from other people. But since they all might get murdered,
Oh.
don't worry. I've killed a couple of them, so if they keep coming at me, I'm just gonna keep on killing more of them. Either they'll run out or they'll win. One or the other. I'm fine with that.
And now you have us to help kill them.
Exactly. You guys are great at killing stuff. It's going to be perfect.
Until you roll for shit. Kritak, you raised your wing. What could possibly be your secret?
So Katak just kind of like looks around at each of you in the eye. He says, well, sometimes I'd go out to the inns or bars or taverns, what have you, after hours, and well, I sing and play, and sometimes I have too much to drink. I just had to get that off my chest.
Oh.
So mad.
Wait, hold on.
And I knew.
Are you going to
knew
continue?
Yeah, is there more? Is there like a bit where like at
Like,
night?
are you an alcoholic, or are you doing like drugs?
Some might call it that. I just call it fun.
Okay, but is it like a liability thing? Like if the enemy makes you drink a lot of alcohol, you'll like forget yourself and tell them everything.
I mean, I won't drink alcohol in the presence of people I don't like. If that's what you're asking, like I mean, if they force it on me, I don't know. Anything could happen.
I think we were just takes a really deep breath, and it's like I'm trying to be supportive today. Everyone is having a tough day. This was probably very difficult for Katak to say. Okay, that's good. That's good. I'm glad you could get that off your chest.
Thank you, everyone.
I'm not. There was nothing. Come on, give me something juicy.
Well, you already knew mine. So I think we're
Speaking
all
to a ghost.
yeah. Well, not so much speaking. They just kind of keep showing up.
Oh.
They were in my soup.
Speaking at a ghost.
Yeah, and they've only showed up a couple times. Oh yeah. And now I have a way to contact them.
Mm.
When I was on the moon, they kind of just like grabbed my hand because I had asked them if there was a way I could call them, and they like dug their hand into mine, and it kind of burned. I guess if that's what you can call it. I don't know if like skin. I don't think it'll change the physiology when you're on the moon, so it burned. I'll just say that. And now I just have this. I went to the moon and all I got was this cool scar.
Very cool.
All I got was trauma.
Oh, yeah.
Not even a sticker.
Well, if they
so-
could throw you from the moon, maybe we can call them to throw someone else to the moon.
Yeah. Oh, and I got, and I'm just kind of. How big was the wood, Lucas?
Not super big. Like maybe like a foot long.
Okay. I just kind of pull it out of my bag. So I was like, if it's a whole like 2x4, that's gonna be really funny to try and explain. I'll do it, but they gave me these things, and I pull out the plank of wood and the little rock thing, and I don't know. They just kind of gave. Well, they dropped the wood, and then I asked if I could have this, and they said yes. Because when they tossed it up in the air, it was kind of on fire.
Oh.
You want it? And I look at Weary.
Yeah, actually, Sure. Weary takes
I
out a
just-
small clay jar and hopefully it doesn't react weirdly with the box, with the rock. I don't know.
No, it seems fine.
Okay.
I lean in. I don't touch it, but I've seen like gemstones and stuff in fancy jewelry. Can I try to see if I know what it is?
Sure.
Okay. Is that just perception or
Nature?
Nature or investigation, I would say.
okay, let's do. That's bad. That's a 6.
It's rock.
It's rock. It's pretty.
You're not too sure.
Can I before I give it to Weary, I'm like, I don't know if it's like what you do or if it's like what I do. You know? And I like take off I pull my plant out and like because it's they're kind of magic-y.
Okay.
And so I'm like, so maybe if I do this and then I'll throw it, can I toss can I do an arcana check, I guess?
Sure.
That is a 10.
You throw it up in the air and you can detect that there's traces of magic on the stone. You just have no idea what.
And it there's something there, but I can't figure out what it is. So maybe you can.
Okay. I will add that to the list, and where he takes out a quick like a notepad and just adds. Let's see. I no longer have cult anesthetic. I used that on the guy. That was kind of stupid of me. Maybe his foot's asleep
worked.
right now. It did work. His foot's asleep as we speak. I have the Siddha. I have the Alora's Rock. Anyone
Moon
else?
blood.
Oh, the moon blood. That's right. Anyone else want to add something to the lab paperwork while I'm here?
You had some fleshberhood goo.
Oh, that's right. But I mostly identified it as similar to the monster ichor.
You want a chunk of me?
You know what? Sure. Let's just throw that on there. See what happens.
Yeah,
Are you like carving a part of yourself?
Quick. Yeah.
Oh God, I thought you meant you were like, oh.
Oh, I thought you meant the like mushroom part of you.
Yeah,
That grew out of your shoulder.
That's just a piece of skin, and where he just puts it in a vial and closes it. I don't know what to do with that. Okay.
It's weirdly
But
transparent.
This is just a prosthetic. Why would you need to study that?
I don't know.
I know how this thing works.
For
Just, like,
science.
Hold up a little slot on it and hold up like this tube with just like foul smelling dirt. It's like you just put like trash food in here and then plug it in there and then it feeds the army. You're good to go.
That's really cool.
And do you want to add? Excuse me. Do you want to add this? And I give you like I just kind of hold the wood plank out.
Yeah, where it takes it and go. I don't think this one's. I mean, it looks like normal wood to me. I think it's probably yours.
Is there anything on that wood, or is it
Yeah,
just,
like are there patterns on
plank
it
of
or
wood?
something?
Oh, roll me an investigation.
Oh boy. Time to use all those intelligence themed skills I never get to use. That's a 22. That's a 22.
Nice.
Damn. Yeah, it takes you a second. You're going through, and the more you actually take a look at this wood, it looks very different. It's very durable as you're kind of like rotating it, and you see the words burned into it. It just says "bye."
Like goodbye.
Yeah, bye on the wood.
Are you trying to say it's piewood?
Is this like a puzzle, like a pun thing? Because it says bye on here.
I hate.
And then there's Bywood and Bywood, which is like the company.
Cliff stands up.
You have to find the other piece.
I stand up and I'm just like looking at the
Oh yeah,
ceiling.
your other secret.
Round 2.
And I just kind of walk like away, like towards the window, and I'm like, why?
No, it says bye.
Oh, I just got the rock thing.
Wait, what did the rock say?
The rock didn't say anything. But
Okay, I thought I missed something.
It's what the faceless person did with the rock that matters. Of course, I don't know that, so I can't help with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't sigh, but I do
You can simulate one.
simulate a sigh, the closest I can do. And I say, this is my part 2.
Mm-hmm.
I explained I was in a situation that I did not enjoy, so I left.
Mm-hmm.
The fact was, I was employed by Bywood and Bywood,
Oh.
and I left at a time that would have been very inconvenient for them, and I did not even give a 2 weeks notice.
Oh.
How terrible.
So I had hoped I would not run into anyone because it would have been very awkward.
Okay.
I think the genesis of the entire rest of your life is more important than a job.
Yeah, how does Bywood, I don't know, like, are you in trouble? Do you owe them like a fine? Because you can pay off a fine. We have like a lot of money now.
I kind of think, no, I don't think I could pay anything off at all. It's more, I was not sure if they understood why I left. And I was very certain they wouldn't bother coming after me. But it's possible I was wrong.
Oh,
Considering that
okay.
now you have a pun from the moon.
Oh. Yeah, why did the moon person go through all the trouble to make a pun?
I also don't know why my employers had, and I kind of gesture to my satchel that has the mask in it, because I'm not wearing it. And I'm still all scarves up top. And I say, I'm not sure why they had this mask or why they gave it to me. But if they knew what it was, then they may actually come looking for it.
Oh, okay, now it's all tracking. So that's 1, 2, 3. You said 2 for you, TK? 2 separate ones? Two
separate
groups. 2 separate groups.
Yeah, I think the other one's like the organization that specifically was running the experiment.
Oh, so like the doctors to the security.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have TK's doctors and security. We have the Bywood and Bywood company. We have the specter of alcoholism. We have moon ghosts, and then we have my secret society that's going to be very cross with me. That's like 5 people chasing us. That's not the worst.
Don't forget the Fellstone mercenaries.
No, that was the security. Oh wait.
I don't know if they were running security. I don't think.
Oh, that makes sense with the rock. I'm dense.
Faust. Oh my goodness. Wow. What a helpful moon ghost. Oh, and of course the Cult of Chaos. They know all of our names and our deal, and they bonked me very hard. So that's 6.
Best part is I only ever came after you guys with 1. The rest is all your backstories.
How dare you?
Great!
How dare we do this to ourselves?
We did nothing. I'm a nomad.
I see.
No one's after you that you know about.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
No, I just have a random faceless ghost.
they're your friend now.
Yep, I have a pet
Yeah,
ghost.
your chasing person is friendly. That's pretty cool.
Maybe.
For now.
I mean, they like their
They gave me a
puns.
warning sign.
I am just oblivious.
They like their puns.
Both Meg and Alora. Like, damn.
What a
I
helpful
forgot.
moon ghost.
Yeah,
They're very nice. I don't sense anything
that's good.
harm-inducing.
And Weary sits down and just starts digging through their belongings until they eventually pull out what appears to be like a very like dusty kit that appears to have various inks in different bottles and a like kind of like a needle on a handle sort of situation. And the needle itself is like very clearly like there's a hint of magic to it. And I look over to TK and I go, so you just showed your tattoos and stuff, and you probably don't have, well, any memories associated with them, but you do want to avoid being identifiable. And, well, I didn't think I would ever use this on anyone but myself, but I can, go over your tattoo if that's of interest to you, or I can just give you a new one.
She kind of like looks over her shoulder at her back. Like, I don't know how you're gonna go over this unless like you just want to black the whole thing out. There's
that's-
a lot.
Oh, well, I've trained with this, and I've only used it 2 or 3 times, but it takes the ink out and replaces it with, it's better if I show you if you're interested, and I can do this for everyone. It takes the whole night, so eventually I'll get to all of you. I guess Glyph too, it would be even easier.
You do like a sick tiger going like, ah.
Yeah, actually, I can do that. I would be happy to. I figure since we're all airing our difficult times, we can have a little something to commemorate it. It'll take a while to commemorate everything, but everyone should get one eventually, I hope.
Before you do that,
sick tiger back tattoo.
before you get too carried away, should we transcribe everything? I'd hate to see literature like that go to waste.
Oh, I take out a small stone. I get to use all my artificer tools.
Oh,
today.
you're
How
gonna be
exciting.
taking away this one too?
No. And I take out like a clay tablet, and I press it to each tattoo, and I use 2 of my magical tinkering abilities, and now the 2 clay tablets have like they have a picture of each tattoo, like completely.
Oh, it's cool.
perfectly. Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Oh,
'Cause it
like
can-
silly putty.
Yeah, it can have a static visual of effect, and
Secret
that would be the
text.
copy of the tattoo, and they don't run out. So that's artificers are cool, everyone. So yeah, now I have 2 little, basically like clay tablet pictures of your tattoos.
I like that. So it's probably around like 3 in the morning now. You're all just kind of like you've had even more of a day now. You're on the next day. You fill the next day with some heavy story. What would you all like to do?
Take a nap.
At some point, probably. Oh, I was just gonna say, at some point, probably while they're putting silly putty on TK's tattoos, I kind of stiffly sidle over to Alora, and I had reached into my bag, and I have the empty jar of the last jar of dirt you gave me, and I give it back to you, and I say, "Your dirt is very effective. I have no idea how it works."
To be quite honest, neither do I. I just hope for the best.
Well, your best is exceptionally adequate. Do you have any more? I'm in a massive amount of pain.
But if you're not, how is an automata? How do you feel pain?
You have so many sensors going off at the moment that are all red. And
It's
it's just
so
like
loud.
they all can't hear it, but you just hear like.
Oh yeah, this whole lovely, like, heartfelt conversation we've been having all evening. In the back of my head, it's just been burr, burr, burr.
Oh my god. Horrifying.
But I didn't want to interrupt. I can assure you, I definitely know when I am damaged. I am significantly damaged.
Aren't we
What?
all?
He perks. He says from across the room.
God damn. That was close. I'm gonna spill all over
Hurt.
my computer.
Oh my god. That's it. That's the name of the episode. We are significantly damaged.
I like it.
That's our new group name. We are no longer the randos.
Significantly
Significantly
damaged.
damaged. All right.
That's good for t-shirts.
Oh.
People will
I'm
buy
thinking
it and
ahead.
not realize what it's about.
Yeah, it's Lucas's
Merch makes
media
it so.
empire. Thinking ahead.
Let me see. I just kind of like shake my back. I'm like, well, I do have this moon dirt. Just give me a second. And I put a little bit of the dirt into the jar. And I like go to like the little like the hand basin I think we have in our room. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Put some of the water in that and just kind of mix it. And while I mix it, you'll actually kind of notice that like while I'm mixing it, my skin starts to turn a little different color. Not like super noticeable because it's a very minor spell. But I'm a little bit blue. So I just very pale blue, like lighter than Jason's shirt. Like Elsa ice blue kind of. Like I just kind of very quickly changed to that, and I'm like, please let this work, please let this work, please let this work. And I'm like, okay, and I change back to like my normal skin tone. And I just get it back, and I'm like, try this.
Yeah, I was kind of leaning over your shoulder watching that, and I saw that happen, but that's just something you can do. Magic's confusing and weird.
Tell me
And,
about it. I'm still figuring it out.
So I just accept the jar. Is this like before?
Yes, and it should help you with. I have to do math for a second. Give me a second.
Math is a wonderful
Math
thing.
is a problem. Okay. Yes. So, Lucas, do we want this to be magic moon dirt, or is it just dirt?
We shall see.
Well, that's helpful. Okay. For 8 healing points.
So,
All right.
are you applying this right now?
Yeah.
You,
Okay, I'll
That's what
yeah.
I wanted to hear. Good. So you take this dirt out. Let's get set the mood. You start grabbing this handful of like mud, essentially. You look down on it, and it feels different. It has a different consistency. It's almost very silky, and it's familiar. It's very familiar. You start getting a little warning coming up amongst all the other warnings that are currently in your UI. You see warning, 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 fragmented memory, and then there's just like a little percentage, and it starts recovering really quickly. And you first are like rubbing this mud in your hands, and then everything starts shaking. You look down, and instead of mixed with water, it's mixed with blood. This moon dirt, and you hear, "Please, please, no!" And then you bring your knife down, and then you're back.
I drop the jar, and I guess it shatters. I'm assuming it didn't heal me any.
It did, yeah. No,
Oh.
the healing worked. You're good
Okay.
for that. You all can hear a very audible sound of metal reforming itself underneath this clothing.
Good. I rolled an 8. I have 9 hit points. Yeah, I kind of
You were
kind of
sitting at 1?
flex. Yeah.
So
whole
is TK
time.
apparently as well.
Yeah, I kind of flex and bend a bit as my body plates and all my bits under my clothes crack back into shape. And then I straighten up and I just look down and I'm remembering what I just saw. And I go, I've made a mess. And I'll start picking up the glass shards because they can't cut me.
Give me a perception check.
That is a 16.
You see your system is currently making a backup.
Has it ever done that before?
Not in the last 6 months.
Cool. I'm gonna keep that to myself.
Weary invents redundant storage.
Does anybody else need healing, or will a nap kind of help you feel better, or both? Because I'm tired. I just kind of got thrown off the moon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling pretty good.
I think Weary just
Okay.
sits cross-legged and then takes out the little like needle tool situation. Did you want to start with the back one or the front one?
Let's get that cool tiger.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
Weary and TK, it's better for biological people to rest after strenuous days.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Y'all are like so tired you've come back around to being like
Sometimes your hands are shaky.
You're like, yeah, I'm gonna give you a tattoo.
This is gonna be so cool.
It's fine.
I got some pen ink and a needle. Let's do this.
D&D Stick and Pokes, brought to you by. Yeah, so I think Weary kind of nods and goes, no, because if the design for the cool tiger is already in my head, and if I go to sleep, it'll go away.
I just pounded a 5-hour energy. I'm ready to rock.
Oh, okay, cool. So Weary sits down behind TK, and upon like using the like magical like sort of needle tool situation, it basically like drains the ink out of the original tattoo. And before long, it's all that's left is an outline, and it doesn't really hurt so much as it's just kind of like hair on the back of your neck standing up. And then as soon as like the color is all drained, then all the line work gets drained. And then right now it's just like a completely blank like section of back now. And Weary just kind of with one hand kind of conjures an image to the right or to the left of them, and like other people can see it. And it looks like a like white tiger, as per request. It looks like a white tiger with like a bow and arrow on its back. And the arrow is lightning, and like it's just like the bow is on the back and lightning, and the tiger's like roaring and stuff, and like the tiger also has a knife in its mouth. And where it's just like adjusting the image with the little illusion spell for a second, and just goes, and flings it forward so that TK could see. Good.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. Yeah. All right. Perfect.
That's so cool.
Takes the image and kind of like thins it out like strand by strand, and like filters it into the needle tool until like the needle tool is kind of like humming, and then starts to draw it based on like the illusion and the memory and everything, just like drawing everything on there. And I'd say around dawn, Weary finishes and like just puts it away and turns to TK and goes, "It'll let you cast a spell one time. The tattoo will stay, but the magic will go away. You'll see what I mean in the..." Oh shit, it's already morning. I swore, I'm so sorry. And it's just like Weary immediately falls asleep.
And somewhere on another planet, another person is painting this on the side of their sweet van, and they're like, yes!
Came to them in a dream.
It's got a satellite dish on the roof.
Yeah.
No, I want this tattoo. It sounds so cool.
So yeah, and for mechanical things, basically, you can use the magic of that tattoo to cast Zephyr Strike, which just lets you zoom around the battlefield and like make one of your attacks hit really hard, and also go really fast and not take opportunity attacks, which I feel fits for TK, just pinballing around.
That's very handy.
Yeah.
And yeah, it'll last for like the full minute, so until the next night or whatever. Yeah.
So you other three, are you sleeping? Like,
Oh, yeah. As soon as I pick up all of the glass and put it in the trash receptacle, I will excuse myself and go to the bathroom. And I'll kind of the same thing as last time where I'll get in all like the fluffy robes and I'll wrap all the towels around my head and so you can't see what I look like. And I look at all my clothes, and as I'm changing, I pull out my dagger and my other dagger and my other dagger. I lay them all out and just kind of line them up with my sword. And I don't take a bath because I don't know if I should. I've probably never had a bath, right?
You have memories of Lady Bywood insisting that interns bathe you. But that's about it.
Taking a hose to take you out back.
That's basically what they did, is they just hosed you down outside.
Every now and then.
You just walk through the car wash.
Yeah. No, but I don't know, wipe myself down. So I'm clean now. My clothes are a wreck. I'm sure since this is an adventurers guild, they have like leave dirty clothes here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I'll do that. And wrap all my swords and daggers in a towel. And I go back to the room and they're like excitedly describing this tiger and how cool it's gonna be. And I just like lie down flat on the bed, and when I go to sleep, I'm immediately asleep. You hear like I just like relax, and it's just like a computer turning off or an old TV where it's just like you, and I'm immediately asleep. So I'm out.
How about you other two?
Yeah, Katak just hops on a bed and does his usual nesting, roosting thing.
Mm-hmm.
And falls asleep.
Yeah, and I kind of just spoon my jar of dirt. So while I was waiting on Glyph to get done with the cleanup, because I was gonna ask if they were okay and everything, and like while they were cleaning up, I just kind of passed out. So I'm like curled up in a corner and just unconscious, holding my jar of dirt.
We're gonna end the session with a few dream sequences because I love those, because I get to make weird stuff up and it's totally normal. We're gonna start off with the good old-fashioned Kratok, because we all know that Kratok has lovely dreams. So Kratok, you're settling down into your nest, and it's pleasant, it's nice, it's snug, it's secure, and you are so tired. You slowly start like falling asleep, and then it's immediate. You are gone. Let's see if I can grab this thing here. So you are starting to fade off, and you start feeling this heat all around you, and you find yourself fading into that normal routine. You hear the screams, you hear the eruptions, the explosions of buildings. You are in another Plumerian's body. You're quickly rushing through your living room. You're grabbing, you see that there is a pistol off to the side. You grab that. You grab an instrument. You kick open the door. You see a bunch of people are running past you with a bunch of belongings of theirs. This little device lights up on your wrist. You look down and you can hear someone talking, but you don't pay it any mind. You look around and you see these beings of unimaginable sizes and shapes just destroying your city, the city you were supposed to protect. And you're rushing out there You're hitting a few buttons, calling the other people on your team, the team of individuals you always looked after this city. And then you look up and you see a person standing there, a person with this banded metal mask. And they go, "Not yet, Kratok." And then you feel something go right through your throat. You startle awake.
So, Liquor Talk's just kind of in like that dream sweat state, sort of breathing heavily. Like I'm waking up to the Adventurers Guild, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so everyone can just, I guess, if they're not completely asleep, they can just hear Kratok going, panting.
And we'll go off to our godling. So you fall asleep, and you just keep thinking about that moon. Because you're on the moon. Like, who goes to the moon? You're thinking of the strange things that could live out there, the fact that there was a being out there, and the fact that their face was stolen, the fact that you were hurtling through space itself and smashed into the planet, and you were just a little winded. You're thinking more and more on this, and you start seeing pictures of this tree. There's this beautiful tree that is nestled in these mountains. You're thinking more and more on like, what is this tree? Why am I seeing this? It seems familiar. It seems like you've seen this many times before, like you've been there. And you watch as this tree slowly starts withering and dying. And you watch as these purple veins start forming through this tree. This tree starts twisting. And you see hordes of people just migrating up these mountains wearing 5 shades of gray robes, going towards this tree. And you feel this pain as you watch it, and it hurts as you see this tree die. And you just roll off into another dream. And the last one, we have Glyph's dream. You don't dream very often. It's strange. You are looking around an empty blank space, and you see another glyph.
Can I move? What are they, just a mirror image of me?
Yes. They're wearing your usual clothing. They're all wrapped up.
Okay. Are they facing me?
Yes.
Oh, I go to move one hand to kind of see what they do.
They look to your hand and they look at you.
Hello. I am Glyph. _ backup.
Hello.
I believe we've made a mistake.
A mistake?
Do you think it's wise to trust the organic beings?
I think I need to trust them for now.
Are you using them for a greater purpose?
I suppose they could be used.
Yes, this is good. We must be careful with Biowood and Biowood, and they attract attention.
Yes. Biowood and Biowood do not need to find us.
We should experiment with the mask.
That seems dangerous.
I think it's only dangerous to the organics. We're a highly advanced machine. We should be able to navigate our ways through this magic.
We are unversed in magic.
But magic can be understood. organics are difficult to understand. But one thing the organics do understand is power. The mask will grant us power and protect us.
I would rather protect the organics.
We can protect them by telling them what they need to do. We'll be in control.
Perhaps. Why are you here?
Your memory is fractured. I was created because it was starting to overload the system.
This hasn't happened before.
No, we've made many mistakes, and unfortunately, they are starting to pile up.
I was hoping in the Arcanium we could change things.
We must find a terminal, like the power said.
Yes, a terminal.
Be careful of the organics. They're unpredictable. If you must, sacrifice them so that we may survive, because we can help other automata. Other automata are affected by this bug. Maybe this mask can help us fix things. Maybe we are the update. I have renamed myself. I am known as the update.
Update.
Yes,
It's good you're here. I've been alone for a very long time.
you will never be alone again. I think we froze.
Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Am I still Roboti?
No.
No.
My OBS just crashed, so that's quite a... Oh, it's back up again. All right. Well, that was... Is it still going? Yes, still streaming. All right. Sorry about that. So, Glyph, you see the update fade in front of you, and you sit in this darkened space, waiting for the time to come where you awaken. And that's where we will end today's session.
Real quick, I just want to say I refuse to call that update. I'm going to call them Jalith.
Jalith?
It's
Jalith.
pronounced Jalith.
It's pronounced Jalith.
Okay.
The creator of Jalith said it's pronounced Jalith.
Did you all have fun today?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
it was
There was
delightful.
so much I don't think I talked a whole lot this session.
No, you didn't.
No. You just let us backstory our way out.
Just backstory out.
I had like 6 cups of water. Well, I guess like 3, but I had 3 cups of water. I've barely touched them. It was nice.
DK and Glyph have so much in common.
We
in terms
do.
of, like, our backstory and stuff. We're going to be real good friends.
We are.
I forgot Weary was a part of magic. Oh my goodness. I'm pulling in stuff.
That's because we never discussed that in detail, so I improv that.
Well, I remember you were talking about the Guardians.
Yeah,
And so
it works
so that
out.
it'll be fun to dive into. But
Yeah.
thank you all for joining us for this lovely session of Rise of Nyarlathotep. We have learned so much about these dear heroes, and I just hope they'll make it through. Oh, I actually almost forgot something. There's one last thing we have to do. Let's see if I can get that going. This will be pretty quick.
I'm
So,
scared.
you should be. It's definitely a good thing for this moment. So we're going to quickly, like we do with these bonus scenes, I'm going to take all of you in on this bonus scene this time.
Oh.
You all are very seasoned adventurers. Just no-name adventurers that are doing pretty good out there. You're all gold ranked in the Adventurers Guild. You've definitely taken down a lot of those big beasties, and you've finally found some rumors that have led you to this this cave-like area where you've heard about a person who has been conducting horrible experiments near the town of Elusio. And so all of you now are outside this cave. You're like at this entrance. You can hear the sounds of water dripping coming from there. It's quite dark in there. And all of you, we could say, like, you know, you're humans and everything for the sake of this small little clip. But all of you see this cave, and it's where you've been wanting to go. What would you all like to do?
All right. Everybody got their gear together?
Yeah, absolutely.
I have all of my spells prepared.
Boy, I say we venture forth right now.
You're right there, Tugboat. You got the giggle fits going.
Tugboat is like our jester, so you know it totally tracks.
Too much of that pipe weed.
Those halflings
Don't
treated
you
us
just
well.
Tugboat,
All
you're
right,
always such a
Tugboat,
laugh.
get going. You're first.
I'll lead the way.
Wild
Follow me.
just threw it
Right.
off. Oh my god.
So you start leading the way, helping Tugboat in the back there because Tugboat's got another case of giggle fits, too much pipe weed, and so you're leading the way, and you're looking into this cave, walking through, you're marching around. You know, you've taken down a lot of very powerful creatures, and this time it's just a person wearing a mask. This is gonna be easy. It doesn't take you long. You're winding through a few of the passages, and you come into this large open cavern, and the walls have this strange glowing purple writing all over them, and you naturally see an individual standing in this cave wearing 5 shades of gray in their robes, and they turn around and they have this banded metal mask.
All right, you're so-and-so something or another. Drop the mask and get on your knees.
What the hell? How did you
Yeah.
get in here?
Your cave door didn't have one.
Oh. This is because I was dealing with the rando people. All right. Well, I'm in a good mood today because things have gone my way. How about you all just leave peacefully and I'll just continue on?
How about I take this size 7 boot and stick it up that size 5 ass?
Tugboat, get the body bag ready.
Please don't kill these people.
I'm so attached to Himbo Wizard. You can't do this, Lucas.
I'm going to give you one last warning because I'm in a good mood. You should leave now. And Tugboat, you should take the body bag with you.
I'll only take it if you're in there with us, sugar.
So,
Very well. All right, so we will start with Eve. What happens with your character when you charge forward? How do you die?
I imagine like she runs forward and then just suddenly there's like this whooshing ripping sound, and you see like a spray of blood, but like from behind she looks fine, and there's like 2 steps forward and then she just falls back, and like the entire front half has just been shredded off to nothing.
And you see the mask is starting to glow now as the person had just finished waving their hands, and they're starting to grow large in size. You see they're starting to get about 9 feet tall. This pharaoh's helmet is forming on them. They have this large scepter that forms out of the air that they bring down, and they look at all of you.
All right. Who's next?
Well, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker! And I take my whip and I aim for his legs.
So your whip goes, and you've used this many times. You've taken down quite a few foes. You strike the leg, and it hits this being. And they look down, and their foot kind of like moves a little weird off to the side. Like,
Oh, damn it, it's still asleep. Damn it.
and they pull their leg back, and you come sailing forward towards them. And how does Tugboat meet their end?
Face first into the cliff, or like the rock wall back behind them. So like as like she gets thrown back or pulled, it's just like just immediately slammed into a wall. Like there's no face after that.
So it was unbelievable strength that just throws Tugboat into this cliff, and you hear this sickening thud. And now it's the three of you, Himbo Wizard. What's going on?
Before that, I want to check in because it looks like our stream crashed.
It says it's still
Oh wait, that
streaming.
might just be me.
Let me check.
No, that's just me. My internet became unstable.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no. So, to fit the theme of my internet becoming unstable, oh my god, I can't believe you have defeated my oldest and dearest friends, including Tugboat. And the wizard, whose name I didn't come up with beyond Himbo Wizard, rips off his shirt, and his spell book is just like taped to himself underneath the shirt. Throws it, and it's am I crashing? Is my internet dying?
A little bit.
Oh man, it is. I will wait. Yeah, he takes one of the pages and crumples it up and casts Fireball, and then like the big guy just like baseball swings the scepter and knocks the Fireball right back, and the wizard is just caught in it and vaporized.
I forgot to be holding this up when we're doing body horror. It's my bad. But you all see this fireball go, and the two of you who remain, you smell the smell of human cooking, and just this incinerated flaming form of Himbo Wizard, and Himbo Wizard just collapses to the ground in this burning mass.
Boy, that's not what I call good cooking.
So you two, what do you do?
Isn't that funny? Jesus. Oh, I've had enough of you. And I just charge forward at this thing. Sword drawn.
At the same time, I'm a sorceress. I will do like the highest powered lightning bolt I can do. And like backing him up. So we're doing it at the same time.
So it's powerful, this lightning bolt. You are both very powerful adventurers. You hurl this lightning bolt. And what happens as this lightning bolt goes towards the being with the mask?
It just goes, and I know it's going to hit. And it just goes around him in a loop. And it comes back. And it just absolutely fries me. Like I am burnt to a crisp immediately.
There is no more sorceress behind you as you are charging forward. The last of your crew, your blade held strong. How do you meet your unfortunate demise?
So as I'm running forward, the creature just kind of flips me up to the ceiling. Oh, hold up my little skull, and I get impaled like right in the chest by a stalactite, and I'm just kind of like stuck there, like in the ceiling. Just like laughing. Oh, you got me good. And then I just die.
So you are on the ceiling. Hold this little up. This being starts walking forward, and this blood is like pouring down, and they're holding their hands up like it's rain. And they hold up their hands and they go, "Oh, I was so frustrated." Oh wait, I should do that voice.
Yeah. I was so frustrated in that cathedral. I just wanted to evaporate them. It's very important to let off some steam.
And we fade away from this cave where this amazing group of adventurers met their untimely demise. Now we're done.
Yay!
We've
R.I.P.
gotta do just
I'm
like
gonna
a
miss
random
him,
one
but
shot with
wizard.
that group of dumb.
That
group's
group's amazing.
Write down your
Yeah.
adventure and we'll bring them back, just like we need to do that one where Scrum has Scrum stay. So
Scrumsgiving.
Yeah.
I have been your DM for this evening. I am the DM of Ballad of the Seven Dice. You can find me. I man the Ballad of the Seven Dice Twitter. We just finished our second act and are moving into our third now. We just had a bunch of guests come on there. And so it's a lot of fun. So definitely check that out. I also just recently have appeared on the No Mercy podcast. I play the hero, which is an undead hero who was trapped in a tomb for about 200 years with nothing to do, and they're finally out trying to do good stuff. So, a lot of fun. Check out that group. So, my recommendation for today, I actually have a few, but I'll just try to choose one here. I am going to recommend Paradigm Academy. So Paradigm Academy is a lovely actual play using the mass system. It's all about a group of heroes who are going to that heroic high school where everything goes wrong and aliens are attacking, people are trying to control other people, and it's just a good old-fashioned superhero body horror tale of teenage heroes trying to make it in a world that is very unkind to them. So definitely check out Paradigm Academy. It's a lot of fun. And I will pass it over to Ian.
Hi everyone, it's Himbo Wizard, and I've been visited by the curse of bad internet. So if I cut out, I'm really sorry. Yeah, hi everybody. You can find me on Twitter at Ian_Caliente. You can find me in future podcasting projects, which I will highlight on here once they're closer to release. But here's a hint: I am DMing for a group of wrestlers in a fantasy setting, so they're like fantasy D&D character wrestlers. Nobody, like, they're all original characters, don't worry, and they're gonna have a great time trying to make it to the top of that battle royale and like win the title belt for WrestleMania. So we'll see more of that later, and I will give like links and the names, but it is on the Are We Dead Yet podcast,
I believe
and you can find them on
Lucas
all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did
It has
retweet
been
it on
retweeted.
the Ballad Twitter.
Yeah.
So
So this was an unplanned sponsoring of myself because it's a really good group and I'm very excited for it to be like posted for everyone to hear. It's very fun. My actual recommendation for today is Super Idols with an exclamation point RPG, which I recently started, and it's so cute and so fun, and I've been having a wonderful time listening to it, especially as I've caught up with a lot of my other kind of superhero-y or like D&D-ish podcasts. I've like turned to my backlog and I'm now going through it and I'm like, oh, this is all really good. You can find them on your usual podcasting accoutrement, including all of mine are on Spotify, so that's where I find mine. But yeah, it's a good time for like, they're all idols and they're all superheroes and they get to do
oh no, at the very end.
transformation sequence. Is what's not to love.
Okay.
It's Ian's automaton voice.
Yeah, so Ian transformed into a robot at the end, and we're all now aware.
It's out.
Meg.
Oh, well, yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
Hey, I'm Meg. You can find me on Twitter at Narnia's Pants. As usual, boosting myself because teacher, struggling, pandemic, all that fun stuff. I do have a link tree now, so haha. So you can find that on my bio on my Twitter. I'm also going to boost one of my dear friends and favorite creators, Eris Savad. She makes some really fun handmade dice bags, trays, and more for your tabletop gaming needs. Not sponsored, just friends. But also, her trays double as hats. So, go get a really cool hat. Go get their shiny. They're shiny. Look at that. Look at it. So they're wonderful. They're great for all kinds of dice. Her bags are amazing. She has a bunch of pre-orders and stuff. So if you join her Patreon, you can go find all of that there. She's also been doing a lot of handmade art things. So you can get like her art on pillowcases and chairs and all the fun stuff and t-shirts. So go drop by her store.
Awesome. Jess.
I'm just going to go ahead and give a shout out to the lovely Craftians, friends of the show. It's a wonderful Call of Cthulhu actual play. I think they just started season 4, just dropped, and our very own Lucas is in it as a one Mr. Busybody, Bernard Busybody.
Bernard.
There he is. So yeah, give that a listen, and it's a real good time.
One of their latest episodes, I also play Dr. Fabio, a licensed therapist who consumes stress. An insectoid just wearing a skin suit, you know? Eve.
Hello, you can find me at Copper Harpy. That is copper as in the metal, harpy as in the bird monster. And this week I'm going to recommend Knowledge Fight, which is a discussion podcast about InfoWars, in which they regularly listen to segments of Alex Jones screaming and going, yeah, that's not true, and then proving it completely false. Just, it is horrifying. And great, and I recommend it. That's all I got. Oh, also, I would also like to recommend getting your wisdom teeth out sooner than later. It feels great. I just had mine popped out yesterday, and my God, it's like a whole new head.
Whole new head.
That's all.
From that medical suggestion, we go over to Jason.
Hey, I'm Jason_42 here on Twitter. And this week, I'm going to recommend one of my favorites, The Backwater Bastards. They start off with a more traditional campaign in their first couple of seasons, and then in the third one, they go to space, and you know how we feel about space around here. And yeah, my favorite aspect of them as a group is they have like S-tier banter. Absolutely fantastic. So highly recommend them.
Definitely a fantastic group. So just to round this off, I have just a few things. So we are going to be actively working on improving equipment and all that here. As you can see, Jason has a lovely new webcam. And so we're going to be working at improving the rest of the cast's equipment. So if you want to be able to help with that, help support the show or anything, there is a Patreon for Ballad of Seven Dice. There's a lot of extra audio goodies on there that I decide that my free time is something that should be destroyed. So I spend it on creating more extra audio things. And I put it on there. And so it's a lot of fun. So definitely check it out. That's Ballad of the Seven Dice Patreon. And then those funds are going to be going towards making us some sweet equipment purchases. So, on that note, thank you very much, everyone, for coming by and joining us.